Hello everybody and welcome back to another Stardew modding video. With the 30-day series that we just did on Animal Crossing, I feel like I haven't touched Stardew in a long time. It feels good to be back and to be sharing some modding content with you guys. While researching for this video, I have literally made like 5 other videos in the process because I'm just so excited about it and I've seen so many cool mods. So be prepared for those ones. But for today's modding adventures, I'm going to be sharing some of the best Fairycore mods on Stardew Valley. There's going to be a list of lots of mods to overhaul your entire gameplay to have a really cool sort of Fairycore inspired area, or even if you're just wanting some minor stuff. As always, before I get into the video, first of all, if you aren't subscribed, I think you should. It is free. I show up in your subscriptions feed. I'm planning on doing a lot more Stardew modding stuff on the channel, so if that's your jam, make sure to hit that button. But most importantly, as always, all of the mods that I cover are going to be downloadable through Nexus Mods. All of the information and stuff is going to be in the description below, as well as a list of all of the mods that I'll be discussing today. A quick reminder that most of these mods do also need you to have prior mods installed, such as Smappy and a content patcher, and if they need anything else, it'll list it in the description of the mod itself. But with that being said, let's get into it. So we've got 6 different categories to go through today, and I've sort of condensed or compiled them into like individual categories in a sense, just so we don't have too many different categories with like one mod. So the first one we'll be discussing is portraits and clothing mods. Anything to do with dressing up your character or just the base game characters, NPCs sort of thing. Next up, we've got any craftable items, and then we have a furniture area. We'll go over buildings, anything related to map changes, recolors, all that sort of stuff. And then lastly, we've got a sort of miscellaneous, which is just things that didn't really fit anywhere else. But let's go ahead and get into this video. So let's start off with our portraits and clothings, and we're going to start off with the fairy wings mod. So this mod just adds a couple of different fairy wings for the player's characters as an accessory. We will be going through actually quite a lot of different fairy wings mods, spoiler alert, but this one's just a nice simple one. It's got a couple of different colors and I love the shape of the wings that they provide. One of the pairs is an opaque wing and then the other is a transparent wing. They both come in whatever color you choose, and all you have to do is use a hand mirror tool, which is an additional mod. As always, a super and cute easy mod to start us off with. Next up on the fairy wings theme, we've got the RoseDryad's fairy wings and accessories mod. What this mod does is it just adds in some wings and accessories for the player to use. It adds in different fairy wings, plant hats, witch hats, and flower crowns using the Fashion Sense mod. This is such a cute mod, and I think that the wings look so cute, as well as all of the different accessories really go together. We do actually have a lot of mods in here from RoseDryad, and I think that if you were to install all of them, they work really well and just very much so complement each other. Next up on the list, one that I find really cool and interesting is we have the Stardew Valley Fairydew Valley. So this essentially reskins all of the dateable characters and makes them into these fantasy creatures. For instance, Abigail is an elf, Alex is now an orc, Emily is our fairy, Haley of course is a princess, Sam is a tiefling, Penny is a mushroom dwarf, and more. I love the different kind of characters that they put these in. Additionally, the main houses that the players can live in have been changed to fit a fantasy aesthetic. This includes the main house, log cabin, stone cabin, and a plank cabin. This is, such a cool mod. I didn't really expect someone to sort of change the vibe of the characters into these mythical creatures, and I think the fantasy creatures all suit and complement the characters very well. Coming in next, we have Scale's Wings. This is just another really cute wing mod. It adds 4 different styles of wings in several different colors. For most of these sort of fashion mods, you will need the Fashion Sense mod. A lot of them you just have to change using the hand mirror that you install with that one, but honestly, I think it's kind of worth it. These wings are so cool. Next up, we have a very cute mod. This is the Witchy hats mod. This just adds in a couple of different kinds of witch hats with some different accessories, flowers, different colors, all that sort of stuff, and very cute if you've got a super like witchy fairy-ish vibe. I know they don't really go together, but we're making it happen. Next up, I think this is one of my personal favorites. We have the Lamberons, I hope I pronounced that correctly, oversized sleeves mod. This is just such a cute like fashion mod in general. It just gives your characters these really cute oversized sleeved looks so that you can live out your big sweater fantasies. I think this, a little hat and like a skirt or something would just go super well. I think overall it's just a really cute little addition to the game and just helps give you that little bit of extra vibes to your character. Next up, to sort of go with that mod, we have the Kisekai skirts mod. This just adds in different skirts and pants that came in with the original Kisekai mod, and it's got a couple of really cute options that I think would pair very well with the hats and the Overgrown sleeves sort of mods all together as like a little combination, you know, a little fashion fit if you will say. And lastly, for our portraits and clothing mods, we have the Witchy rustic looks. I am obsessed with this little little mushroom hat. I think it is everything. So this mod comes with 6 different hats, 4 shirts, 2 skirts, and 1 accessory. Again, this one does require you to have fashion sense, but I just think it is such a cute looking mod, and I love how the fits look. Even if you're sort of going for like, it's like that's the thing with Fairycore, you can go with any sort of vibe. So I feel like there's something here for everyone. There's like a sort of flowery or like mushroom fairy vibe. There's more of a sort of pastel vibe, and then you've got that really like witchy sort of vibe for it. I think that this is just a really good overall mod to download if you're only wanting to have one sort of clothing mod. I think this is your guy. Coming in next for our craftables mods, we have got RoseDryad's Fairydew craftables. This essentially changes the craftable items to match their other Fairydew mods that they have, which we will be discussing soon. This essentially changes all of the craftable mods, such as the bee house, chief press, and furnace. And additionally, they will be adding in more craftables later. This is so cool. I love the really like cute pink vibe that it gives you, and I think it will match in very well with a lot of the other mods that we'll be discussing very soon. And then lastly, in the craftables section, only a couple of mods here. We've got our Overgrown fairy craftables. So this adds in with the Ellie's Overgrown Fairies buildings mod, which we've discussed before on the channel. It is one of my like faves. I think it's super cute, but essentially it gives everything this sort of pink and white recolor or a cute fairy wooden recolor. Gives you like little fairy campfire, Junimo scarecrow, heart-shaped boxes, magic lightning rods. I think it is just so cute. Again, this really matches up with the Overgrown Fairy buildings mod that we'll show you guys a little bit later on. But overall, I think this is one of my favorite. I love the colors for it. I think it's so cool. Next up, we have our furniture mods, and starting us off, we have Star Amy's Fairy Tale Furniture. So this adds a small number of magic and fairy tale themed furniture pieces through the dynamic game assets. All are purchasable from Robin at the Carpenters, and most are animated. Comes with stuff like a fairy house, fairy door, frog prince, unicorn foal, a cauldron, spellbook, a carriage, crystal ball, enchanted butterfly bed, plant bed, and even a witchy bed. This is such a super cute mod. I love how these furniture pieces look, and I think that they really complement the sort of vibe. And again, it's got a couple of different options. So if you're wanting that more like pastel, more of a sort of overgrown flowery look, or that really dark sort of witchy vibe, it's got something for everyone. Next up, we have our good friend RoseDryad with RoseDryad's Fairydew decorations mod. This is so cute. This adds mushrooms and plant themed decorations and furniture into your game. Items include mushroom fairy circles, stools, tables, baskets, benches, dressers, dress forms, paintings, bird baths, tea sets, and so much more. Like, there is a huge list of things that you can have in here. I think this is such a cute mod. I love all of the vibes. Even if you were only to have a couple of things around your island, I think all of these fit in, especially with a sort of super magical pink Fairycore vibe. I love how they look, and yeah, definitely a top mod here. Coming in next, we have a very cute one. This is the Overgrown Fairy Fences mod. So this changes the wood fences to flower fences during the spring and summer, and to plain fences during fall and winter. It was not made by the same creator, but these were made to match Ellie's Overgrown Fairy buildings mod. So a lot of stuff. I feel like we've got 2 or 3 different kind of mods that you can really install all together. I think this one is so cool, and I love the like vibe of it. The pink flowers on the fences I think is so cute. Even the gate is cute. Like, I don't think the gate could get cute. Coming in next, we have the Magical Witchy Kitchen and Furniture Pack mod. This one's a little bit more for our sort of like overgrown flowers witchy vibes. This one just adds in a couple of extra items and really just has this super cool witchy magical vibe to it. It does also add in a couple of different items like a fountain, which I think would look super cute in a sort of exterior area that would go with the rest of your Fairycore stuff. You might not want the kitchen to go with it, but I think that the furniture is a must for this sort of vibe. Next up, we've got the Witch's Garden Flowers mod. This is essentially a few different herbs that you would normally find in a sort of fairy or witch garden that you can actually use as custom furniture. I love how they look, and I think they're super cool as like little decorating spaces sort of in your house or around your farm. They really just add in a little something extra. I don't know. I feel like if you're watching this video, chances are you're probably a decorating queen like we all are. So I think this is a really cool one to add in, like through grass and stuff, buy some flowers and everything, and you've got so many different options there. I feel like this is a must if you were going for the sort of overgrown or like flowery sort of Fairycore vibe. And that is it for all of our furniture mods. So next up, we're starting to get into bigger spaces. We've got our buildings mods. So starting us off, we've got the RoseDryad's Fairydew buildings mods. This essentially changes the farmhouse, cabins, shipping bin, greenhouse, stable, well, and Junimo huts on your island, and changes it to these super pink overgrown flowers, mushrooms at the front vibe. Again, for all of the RoseDryad's mods that we're going over today, I feel like they all will work together super well. Of course, if if you want to mix and match, you do what you want to. It's your game. But I think that these are super cute. I love the different kind of cabins that you can get, the different buildings that are there, and just overall how they look. I love the very mushroom vibes as well. It's a very cool mod. Next up, we have the Overgrown Fairy Buildings mod. This is another fan favorite. I've spoken about this one a couple of times on the channel. It is essentially these super cute pink and white overgrown fairy buildings with these super cool flowers and just a really cute vibe to it. I absolutely adore how this one looks. I love how the flowers look to it, the different colors and shades and everything. As I said, this is a big fan favorite on the channel and definitely one I super recommend. Attached onto this, we have the More Overgrown Fairy Buildings mod. So while the original Overgrown Fairy Buildings mod doesn't include a lot of stuff, this creator has made some of these extra items that match with the original mod. So this includes the Junimo hut, mailbox, shipping box, and mill. I love how these ones look and they're super cute little areas, and I think it definitely was a must need. Next up, to sort of go with the theme, we've got this Overgrown Fairy Tractor Garage. Essentially, it's just a cute reskin of the tractor garage to fit in with this sort of overgrown fairy buildings vibe. It's a super cute mod, and I feel like if you want to have a tractor on your farm, then you shouldn't be missing out on having a cute little Fairycore garage. Again, something to add in if you're sort of going for that overgrown fairy buildings vibe. Next up, we have, I feel like we're doing so many overgrown things right now, the Overgrown Fairy Farm Rearranger. Another simple one, just a cute reskin of the Farm Rearranger to fit in with the overgrown fairy buildings vibes. Another super cute one. I love how it matches up. I just love the coloring and shading for all of these mods so much. Very, very nice. And then lastly, for our overgrown fairy things, we've got the Overgrown Fairy Cabins Farm. So if you've only ever just wanted the cabins, or you want to add in the cabins to the other mods, then this one is a mod for you to install. As it says, it just adds in the 3 different cabins and gives it that overgrown vibe. A super, super cute mod. Coming in next, we have the Fairy Farmhouse mod. So this changes the farmhouse and greenhouse to be fairy themed and additionally seasonal. It does also work with the painting mechanism that is in the game. I love how this looks. The little like flowers on the front. I love the fall theme with the pumpkins and the mushrooms. I just overall love how this looks. I think it is a super cool mod and one that I've not really seen too often. So definitely one that I super, super recommend. Next up, we've got the Wildflower's Witchy Greenhouse Map mod. So this mod offers 5 different greenhouse layout options and they all come with the mushroom room. So your 5 different options are an original one. This is for crops and trees. You've got a crops only mod, a trees only one. Additionally, you've got an immersive sprinklers original and an immersive sprinklers for crops only. This gives you a couple of different layouts and they all support recolors, but primarily I love the background of it. I love the flowers, the overgrown mushrooms, the little tower and stuff in it. I think it just has this really cute little witchy vibe and I love how some of the recolors and shaders can look on this map. Additionally, I love the little mushroom room. That is such a cute idea that I've not really seen anywhere else. Next up, we've got the Wildflower's Witchy Gardening Sheds for Solid Foundations mod. That was a mouthful. This mod essentially adds in 2 new buildings via solid foundations that are purchasable from Robin. It adds in a gardening shed for your crops or an arboretum for trees, and I probably butchered that and I'm very sorry. It does also give more exterior options. I love how this looks. This also kind of matches in with Ellie's Overgrown Fairies mod, and you can also change the color on it. So if you're wanting a more green vibe or a more purple vibe or even the like darker witchy vibe, you've got those options and I think they just look so cute. Additionally, I love that you can have just a crops area and also a trees area. It really just maximizes your space on your farm by putting everything into one smaller area. I think it is very, very cool and a very good idea as well. And lastly, for our buildings mod, we've got the Garden Cellar mod. This one's not super Fairycore, I feel, but I did really like the sort of flowers and overgrown vibe that it had to it. And I think with the right decorations, this would look super, super cool. I just love the sort of idea and vibe of it, and I love a little like hidden space for yourself. Now that we're done with the buildings mods, we are coming in to our second last category, which is the map changes mods or anything map related. We've got a lot to go through here, so buckle on in, besties. Starting us off strong, we have the Rainbow Fairy Mushroom Trees mod. So this is a mod that is based off of Lumipop's Fairy Mushrooms tree mod, but it also gives you additional colors to choose from, as the original mod only has the one color. I think it is really cool, especially if you're wanting sort of a particular color or vibe or even like different accent colors. There is currently 11 textures in a variety of colors, and I think that they will definitely fit in for all of those sort of mushroom Fairycore vibes. Super, super love this one, and also there is a link in the mod for itself for the original one by Lumipop, which is also a very cute mod too. Coming in next, we have Froststar 11's Underground Fairy Spring Farm Cave mod. So this essentially adds some new decor and an underground hot spring that restores health like the bathhouse. If you guys know me, my #1 favorite mod is the like farm cave expansion mod that I have. It helps you to regenerate as well as just being a super cool area. And also if you choose the fruit, then it gives you more spawn spaces. But I love these sort of farm cave ideas. I think it is so cute. This one's more so like gems and minerals versus like mushrooms and flowers. But still, I think it's a really cool one if you're going for that sort of vibe. Next up, we have two mods that sort of go together, but starting us off, we have the more grass mod. This essentially is a framework mod that allows you to add more grass. It also adds the ability to choose which season grass can live in as well as which season grass can grow in, including winter. This is another one for all of the sort of overgrown Fairycore vibes. If you're wanting more grass, this is a super cool one because then you can do like some minor decorations with it, and I love how the grass looks for it. Additionally, piggybacking onto that one, we have the realistic Wildflowers grass mod for more grass. This essentially adds a variety of grasses to every season, all based on real wildflowers and wild grasses from their respective seasons. Turns the grassy areas of your farm into a wild lush meadow teeming with lively color and diverse shapes. This one won't work unless you have the more grass mod, but I love the idea of them both together because then you've got more grass and some options, and then additionally you've got additional options on top of it. I think that they just look super cool together, and again, for us overgrown queens, this is the one for you. Coming in next, we've got a very cute one that I only just found, the Pink Stations Heart Farm map mod. This is essentially a farm redo. So this is an open layout farm shaped like a heart and with wings. It has 2 easy access spots for watering plants, 2 waterfalls, a pond for fishing, a quarry, and hardwood stump spawn locations. It does also have a 50% chance for catching mountain fish and forageable spawns. This is a super cute one, and with the right sort of recolor, I feel like this would be awesome. There's lots and lots of space, so I feel like there's lots of things that you can do, and I just love the layout of it. I think it is super cute and just like the most perfect Fairycore farm. Coming in next by Pink Stations as well, we have the Hilltop Farm map. This is a more prettier and organized version of the Hilltop Farm map. It has a heart-shaped quarry, waterfalls, and additionally a natural landscape. It does have like beehive area, a designated space for farm animals, areas for all of your buildings, and a beautiful spot in the middle for your gold clock. I think it is another really cool area. I love the sort of overgrown vibes to it. And even if you don't decorate it to how it sort of instructs, I think that there is so much cool opportunity. Even with the vanilla style look to it, I still think it looks so cool. Definitely a recommended mod and one of my faves, and I kind of want to install and play Stardew Valley right now because it is so cute. Next up, we have the Alice in Wonderland coloring mod. This is essentially a like map recolor mod for Stardew. This essentially just gives it this sort of white pastel look, and I really love how this one turned out. I think this goes well with a lot of the building mods, and it just helps for the Fairycore vibes. Next up, we have the new map coloring mod. Again, this is just another one that has a sort of more white vibe to it, kind of like a Forever Snow. It is very nice, and I love how the grass and everything looks, but it's still got like the moss on the rocks and stuff, just like minor details like that. A very cool one, and again goes with all of those sort of lighter building vibes. Next up, we have the Lavender Meadows mod. So this essentially adds a new farm to your game, and optionally it can replace your vanilla farm as well. It includes features like freshwater fishing, daily forage spawns, renewable hardwood stumps, a forest buff energy regen, and optional ones like a Minecraft shortcut and a bigger farm cave. I love how the little lavender area looks with just the little lavender flowers everywhere. I think it is just a super cute little area, and with extra decorations and stuff, I would literally live here if I could. Next up, a very cute one, we have the Tiniest Farm mod. I don't know about you, but I kind of like the idea of just having a little farm, only really be able to do a couple of things, and just really living my like little Fairycore vibe. Kind of like, I would say more of a witchy vibe, like, you know, just a little witch area. I think it is a really cool area, and I think despite it being so small, there is definitely potential here. And if anyone installs this, please tag me. I'd love to see what you do with it. Next up, almost at the end of our map mods, we have the Custard Puff map color mod. This is just a super cute sort of beige pinky white vibe. I love how it looks. Again, this goes super well with like a pink color to it, so I think that all of the overgrown mods would suit really well, and I love how this one looks. It is very cute. And then lastly, for our map mods, we've got the Overgrown Forest Farm mod. It's essentially just an overgrown forest mod. The forest is essentially slowly taking over the farmland, but there's always still some good land underneath. You just gotta take some time to flourish the area and make it your own. It comes with features that all the grass is tillable and it replaces the forest farm itself. This is a really cute mod and I love the look of the forest farm for this one. Now that we are done with our map farms, next up we're going to go through our sort of miscellaneous ones. So these are the last few that didn't really have a category anywhere else, but I still think deserve a little bit of a shout out because they're very cool. Starting us off strong, we have the pumpkin carriage mod. This is so cool. A little bit more Renaissance inspired than it is Fairycore, but you can essentially have this really cool pumpkin carriage. You can change the coloring and stuff for it. So you've got 4 pumpkin carriage skin colors, 26 different monogram and initials, and a blank door option. You can go on the inside. There's a little interior for it and it can kind of just go anywhere on your farm. I think it looks super cool. It is, yeah, again, not super Fairycore, but I love the sort of thought and idea behind it, and I think that it is so cool. Next up, we have the crop fairy mod. This mod essentially adds in a chance that when your character sleeps that a fairy can touch one or more of your crops so they instantly grow, or they can also water the soil of a crop. I will say the way that they water the crops is not as conventional as I thought it was when I first looked at this mod, but I think it is kind of a little funny and adds a little bit of humor into your game at the same time. A very interesting mod and one that will just help out in general sort of island stuff. Next up, we have the Ellie's Witchy shipping bins mod. This is just a super cool one. It replaces the existing shipping bin with a more witch-friendly version and it gives 5 different optional decorations. I love how they all look, nothing super Fairycore I feel, but also gives it just a little bit of a different vibe. And I think that these can also super fit in with your island. And our last mod today is, I think, a very cool one. We definitely do save the best for last, but this is RoseDryad's Fairies mod. This essentially adds in cute fairies using the custom critters mod, gives you 5 different variations. They essentially appear in the farm, town, forest, bus stop, mountain woods, and secret woods during spring, summer, and fall. And like all of us, they're probably hibernating and staying warm in winter. This is a super cute mod. I love the idea if you're gonna have a Fairycore island that you have like fairies there. I love it. I think they're just super cute little guys just hanging out and are just a really super small cute addition to your island. Well, that is it from me. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. What are some of your favorite Fairycore mods or ones that you're going to be downloading? And additionally, as always, what mod related content do you want to see next? I love taking your recommendations. I've got a couple of ones lined up from comments that you guys have left me. So if you have anything that you'd like to see more mod coverage on, let me know in the comments below and I'll see what I can do. As always, if you guys enjoyed the video, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Feel free to check out all of my other Stardew modding content. But on that note, I will catch all of you guys on the next video. Bye everybody!